It's March. Welcome. It is not March, but we are looking ahead at March. Welcome. These are our 2023 predictions. We're doing our monthly edition. You can go to my channel, Light, Love, Magick, and look for the 2023 predictions playlist. And I have an overview of the whole year, my channeled impressions that I was getting, and then we did a whole Oracle and Tarot workshop. I threw in a bunch of deep wisdom secrets from Kabbalah that you can apply to your practical day-to-day life. So tons of good stuff in the 2023 predictions video for the year. Also, I'm uploading gradually month by month. So we're here for our look ahead at the energies that we're going to be dealing with in March and the themes of our life school, so to speak. If this year is like the launch into the grand new season of our lives, what kinds of things are going to be going on in our plot, right? What kind of themes are we going to be looking at in March? I am using the Wild Unknown Archetypes, the Goddess Power Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, Wild Unknown Animal Spirit, both Kim Cran's The Archetypes, the Wild Unknown Archetypes and Animal Spirit, and then the Winged Enchantment by Leslie Morrison, which I'm obsessed with. We've got Modern Witch Tarot, and then my ultimate favorite and an absolute classic, my own tarot deck, or actually it's an oracle deck, straightforward oracle. All right, what do we need to know looking at March for our highest good? It's going to move us along at the theme of our movie in the best way. Ooh, the heart. That follows right along with January and February. It's like January is all about the purging and the offloading and like the final phase of death. And I think February is that kind of like void liminal space where we, regroup and recharge and we let our foundation set. And then I think that March, towards the end of February, it's like these hints of heart openings and activations are going on. And so by March, we might be really delving deep into the realm of the heart. On a personal note, like with ourselves, the heart is it's an information processor. And it's been started to be studied in recent years. I think the company is called Heart Math that does scientific research on the intelligence of the heart. And the heart is actually, like I'm talking about the organ of the heart, is actually very intuitive, and it responds to stimuli even before, like when people are shown like flashcards and things to like see like what it does in their brain. The heart responds before the brain, and the heart responds before it even sees like the information or whatever that's going to be stimulating it. So that's super interesting. So everyone's heart is psychic. The heart to me is a portal, a bridge to the other realms, particularly that which is sacred and connected to the ultimate source, that which is connected to the divine, that which is connected to Holy Spirit, and that is where the Christ center is, the Messiah consciousness, that Messiah energy, the Christ consciousness. And the Messiah energy is when all of our conflicting, opposing forces are corrected and brought into balance and integrated within us, when we are delivered from all of our mental and emotional and spiritual negativity, and we are in that state of absolute union and oneness and open awareness of our like connection and in like inextricable oneness with all that is. It's when we have that holy marriage of the divine masculine and feminine within us, and we are completely connected in a moment of enlightenment, in a moment of ascended consciousness to Christ consciousness, where it's like we see everything from the point of view of divine, and we are in that moment in unity and oneness, in that ultimate fulfilling state of heaven on earth. And we are no longer separate from that and experiencing our reality as a dual reality of light and vessel, or masculine and feminine and separation. Does that make sense? So the heart is a portal to the other realms. The heart is an information processor. The heart, it's interesting because in her depiction of this heart, it's like a nest, which I love, and then there's two people floating along a tranquil pond. And the water is usually a symbol of our emotions when we're having dreams. And so the state of the water usually is a reflection of the state of our emotions. And so these people are on a beautiful pond, and then above them there's this like sort of like some kind of like deep space cosmic event going on. And I think that's really interesting because I once had a dream that I was out in outer space and there was this presence with me, and I was kind of perched on an asteroid, and it was like, I don't know, everything was so abstract and like weird and surreal in scale, but I was perched on an asteroid and I was in an orbit around this like white hot blue star, and the presence next to me was like, it felt like God, or I felt like God specifically. And it was like, this is the star inside of your heart. And I was like, oh. And I understood at that moment that it was like kind of literal, that like the deeper we go in, the further we go out, because we are in the universe, and the universe inside of us is inside of us. And time and space are an illusion. It's just a projection of our consciousness. And so I was like, oh, that's super far out. Like deep, you go deep in and you get far out. And like, it's like there's a whole universe inside of us. But yeah, so anyway, later in life I stumbled upon these like slivers of things that Jesus would say in the Gnostic Gospels, referring to like the star inside of your heart. And I was like, no shit, like Jesus was talking about it too. So the star inside of your heart. Let's turn to the guidebook and see what else they have to say about the heart. I think that's really interesting. I feel like the heart is a place. The heart. The heart. The home, the center, the throne. It is possible from an imaginable point of view to sense the heart as a place. Either we are there within the realm of expansion and compassion, or we have drifted somewhere else. There is no in between. It is common for us to leave this archetypal center without realizing it, as the world with its seductive twists and turns offers us frequent departure. We may even become a stranger to the landscape of the heart, leaving it vacant for long stretches of time. The seat of the heart is often reclaimed by nature, music, dance, and the presence of children or animals. This card encourages us to move past the layers of life's tangles and knots and enter the wild and sacred center of the self. The most precious throne in the galaxy is awaiting your return. When light, expansive, knowing, gentle clarity. When dark, fraught, tangled, betrayal. Go deeper, Wild as the Wind by Nina Simone. Recall the last time your heart was touched. Soak in every detail you can feel and... Wait, hold on, sorry. Start over. Take two. Recall the last time your heart was touched. Soak in every detail you can and feel the heart awaken. Ooh. So I don't know how old you are, but when I was like in elementary school and junior high and parts of high school, we didn't have cell phones yet. And so we would pass notes to each other in class. And every girl that I knew had a big shoebox full of their notes that they passed to each other, or notes that they would get from boys or the boyfriend, and you keep that box like forever. It's like it's really hard to get rid of. So every now and then I'll come across that box like in my stuff somewhere, and like when you read the notes, like you open them, you're like transported back to that time, and that all that energy is like still in the paper, and you can feel it awakening something in you, even though you're not still in love with that person that was like 12 or 13 back then. You're just like, oh, like it does something to you. It's magical. It really is. Some say there is a cave at the center of the heart. Others say it's a pool with a flowering white lotus. Imagine yourself there and draw what you see. So yeah, apparently we're going to be jolted into connecting with our heart in February and March. And I would say that if you are super closed off, something about your life is it's like tugging at your heartstrings right now, and it's starting to try to jolt an awakening. And you really need to open your heart, because there's so much energy and expansion of fortune coming in 2023. But if your heart is closed, you're not going to be able to receive any of it. Even if it's not love themed, like you're pushing all opportunity out. Things that you love doing, things that you would be in resonance with the vibration of love with through your, experience of life. So whatever you love, you will be pushing out that expansion of those things as well. So opening the heart is going to be big in March. Lean in, allow it to activate. It'll open up so much creativity. It'll open up abundance and possibility. It'll open up your psychic center and your feeling of connectedness. Ooh, wisdom, metis. I want to say she was Greek, if I'm remembering right. But this woman, wisdom, metis, her lesson, if I'm remembering it correctly, was that she had to learn the valuable lesson of not shrinking herself in order to make other people comfortable. Don't dim your light to fit in. You are here to express your uniqueness on behalf of the divine. You are going to be responsible to God for living your life true to who you are. So, over and over and over again, life presents us with challenges that are there to push us, to strengthen us, to provoke us to stand up for ourselves and who we are. And that sometimes looks like when your parents want you to be a certain way, and it's really going against who you truly are. I know like gay people can understand that, because they struggle. Many gay people, not all gay people have this situation, but I'm surrounded by gay people. I'm not a gay person, but like I probably know more gay people in my life that are close to me than I know straight people. So for many of them, they've had different situations, but for some gay people, it is hard to come out to their parents because of their parents' like hang-ups about culture and appearances and religion and all of their sexual hang-ups and their homophobia and possibly their bi curiosity or whatever. So it's like that is a situation where people feel like they have to dim their light to fit in with their family. They can't be their full out selves, right? I know in my situation as a mystic in a conservative state and with a conservative family, it's like I have had to fight the battle of being myself without like experiencing backlash. I mean, I certainly have experienced backlash, like public humiliation and like just all kinds of things, to like from the worst trolling, and it's coming from the closest people around me. So I totally understand that from that perspective. I also understand what it's like to try to dim yourself or shrink yourself or twist yourself into a pretzel to please your romantic partner when your relationship has gotten out of balance, right? And you haven't done the healing work, you know, on all of that stuff to like hold on to who you are. It's hard for me. I have a Cancer moon. So my emotional realm, my sense of home, my sense of empathy with other people, if those borders, I have to put a border there, or else I can lose myself in the needs of others or feel like more concerned about their feelings and forget about my own, right? Because I can feel theirs so vividly with my empathy. So I have to set the boundaries, right? So our wisdom is, how do we open our heart and still hold our boundaries secure so that it's safe to have the heart open, right? You can, the secret is to have a balance of both at the same time. To be able to live life with an open heart and be wholehearted with life, but have enough discernment and like wisdom and strength to decide how close in you are letting certain influences get, you know? It's like levels of entry, right? And people have to like pass those levels of entry. So that is going to be how you're going to feel safe to open up, because you're going to be able to say no to people if you need to. You're going to be able to slow people down if you need to. You're going to be able to stand true to what you feel and what you think. Another example of this might be getting physical faster in relationships or in dating than you want to because you feel pressure or obligation or whatever. I know this is difficult for a lot of people, and it's like you should never feel any other reason to get physical with someone other than the fact that you like really want to get physical with them. Like, never do it out of obligation. Never do it out of guilt. Never do it out of like, well, we've gone this far, like I can't stop now. Like, don't do any of that, right? That's what makes it hard to trust people, because you aren't trustworthy for yourself if you can't say no. And so others can't trust you either because they're like, well, they can't say no. And so then that means that if someone is going to say enter into a partnership with someone, and then that person knows how to have healthy boundaries and say no to people and live their own life, but then they have a relationship with someone who doesn't, then it's like that person is now under the influence of however weak that person's boundaries are, letting all that outside influence into them. It affects that person, right? So that's why we need to be strong, and we need to be wise, and we need to be aware and astute of who we are, and we need to be strong enough to say yes when we want to, and strong enough to say no when we want to. Okay, who's next? Me. It is the animal spirit. Who is our animal spirit guide for the month of March? Who is it gonna be? Oh, Firefly. Oh, I love this. I love this. Firefly is a fleeting opportunity. You know, they light up and the light goes off. They light up and the light goes off. Then they have like the season that we have the fireflies. It's very brief through the year. And there's a culmination of their mating, and it's just like, oh my God, it's like magic outside. But this is talking about having these surges of energy or moments of opportunity that you really have to capitalize on because they are fleeting, right? They're a phenom. It's not like a sustained state of being. So when you are inspired in March, it is important that you like double down on your efforts, right? Because we have this expansive energy and this expansion of fortune coming over us, but it can only expand what we give it. So that's why it's important to set your routines in motion ahead of time. That way you're already a well-oiled working machine by the time like any of these opportunities or chances or inspiration or ideas come around. That way when they do come and you have the surge of extra, zest, you can like exponentially increase your efforts, right? So take advantage of opportunities in March. Go for what you want. Don't hold yourself back. It's like these brief little like windows, portals. Maybe there's some hearts that are going to be open, you know, and you'll have like moments that you might be able to like catch an opportunity. All right, Modern Witch Tarot. Let's pull 4 tarot cards on what we're looking like in the month of March. What is March going to be looking like for us? Ooh, 2 of Wands. Oh my God, I love this depiction of 2 of Wands because to me, she is like, all right, I'm here. Brought my 2 wands. Like, when's the party starting? She's like checking her phone. She's like on this like beautiful like balcony looking out at the vista. She's ready for the soiree to start. And she's like, I mean, did I get the invitation right? Like, where is everybody? And 2 of Wands is like, all right, I'm inspired and I've got my shit together and I've got like I've assembled my parts and pieces and now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And I'm looking for collaborators and I'm looking to expand my vision and I'm ready to like get to that next level and like start to execute the plan. So very good, very exciting energy to get March kicking off, which is it. Last month, February, we had Ace of Wands. So very good. Whatever was inspiring to you, whatever was like the inkling of the beginnings in February is going to be beginning to blossom in March. Ooh, okay, we have the Devil card, which don't always panic about the Devil card. The Devil card is representative of Capricorn. Capricorn is very grounded. Capricorn is the King of Pentacles, material world. So it could mean that your plans are finally starting to solidify. It's just that the things to be wary of are don't be over controlling, right? Don't try to force. Don't try to become suddenly... Don't let, if things are progressing, it's only natural that your ego is going to chime in and try to make you feel scarcity, lack, fear, self-doubt, all of the ego's greatest hits, right? I'm grandiose, I want to control, I want to manipulate. If I can like manipulate, then I'll be in control, like I can force my will. So when you are opening your heart and you feel vulnerable, that's when like the devil's gonna show up and be like, are you gonna let me in? I'm gonna freak you out. I'm gonna make you feel like you're not safe to do this. Maybe you're gonna have second thoughts, doubting yourself, like insecurities. You know, so all of that stuff is gonna come up. The devil's trick is also to say like, there is no other way. Like, this is the only way. It has to be this way, you know? So these people, it's usually the lovers that have like suddenly found themselves in hell. Twin flame syndrome much. Runner, chaser. So yeah, these people, their bounds are very loose. They can take them off. They can unshackle themselves at any given time. It's just that they're choosing to be there in that situation right now. So stay aware of your ego. It will come to sort of like fuck with you, especially when things are starting to go well and when opportunities are starting to present themselves. Ooh, very exciting. So we have 10 of Pentacles is next, which is things that have long-term durability, long-term potential, long-term value, incredible value. Like this talks about growing wealth, leaving a legacy, like growing a family, like making a real future out of something. So if you're like starting a business, this could be, you know, something that could lead to a long, stable, happy career that could grow and expand and scale. If you are, you know, thinking about your vision for your life that you want to build and like the home that you want to create, like this is really good, positive energy. So yes, there's a lot of potential for whatever is shaping up in March to go the distance. It's just like we don't want to let the devil sabotage it right off the bat. And then we have 2 of Pentacles, and this is all about having fun, juggling all of your affairs. Maybe you've got like passion projects and work and new things happening in your life. And it's all about trying to maintain balance while keeping a lighthearted sense of fun and play. Don't get too serious, because then you're gonna get bogged down and dragged down by the busyness of it all. And then you're going to fall out of like vibrational alignment with your like fun sense of authenticity and like love and passion. So it's important to maintain balance, self-care, get proper rest, have proper like fun time, friend time, alone time, you know, spiritual time, self-reflection, all that stuff. Keep it in balance so that you have a funness, a fun energy with your life. You want to keep your energy sprightly and zesty, and it's going to keep on unfolding into more and more like goodness and abundance and blessing. And more love. Like I really have like really fun, like, I don't know, it's like champagne-y vibes for March. I just feel like very like, ooh, like something's in the works. I feel something good, some fun times coming. All right, now let us pull straightforward oracle cards on this. Let's get 4 for the month for some clarity. Let's get a little bit more detail about what we're going to be working with this month. Ooh, meditate. So meditate on that vision, all of the vision that you see right here underneath that 2 of Wands where you want to move forward. Really meditate on the results that you want. Also, it's good to just allow your mind to relax and let go, because surrender and release is so vital for manifestation. You have to be in a state of release in order to allow even to yourself to receive. Ooh, you're going in circles. This is under the Devil card right here. So we had this card last month in February. And so that there's something that you're not seeing in your situation. So I'm going to read this card this time since we've had it 2 months in a row. Negative patterns, cycles, stuck in a loop, repeating the same mistake, time for a new story. Now, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I am careful about not telling everything that I'm interpreting here, because I don't want to be sensational, but sometimes I cannot help but have a clear plot of like a soap opera going on. And if y'all are meeting people and starting like relationships at the end of February, or starting to talk to somebody or flirt, things are gonna start like opening up and getting exciting. And everyone is going to start freezing up and having that like panic attack and power struggle, like the oh my God, I was too I got carried away, or I need to get a hold of this before, and it's just like, just slow down, just take it slow. Don't let yourself get too carried away. But also, you are going to be in that triggered moment of whether you are an avoidant attachment style or an anxious attachment style. Usually once people like lose themselves in the excitement, it's like all of a sudden their attachment styles creeps up on them, and they're like, oh my God, oh my God, startles them. So that usually triggers you into your patterns. So these are the things that we're trying to break in order to write a new story for our television show and go against the old canon that we've been creating on this bar. I hate when my dress gets off centered. Yeah, so try to break pattern. Don't go in circles. Don't do the thing that you're like have the first initial urge to do, or don't be reactive. Pause. Why is this in my movie? What is the message here? How is this situation an opportunity for me to grow beyond what I have been and be something more evolved and ascended from what I was? Repeating the same mistake, time for a new story. Every passing moment is a chance for a new beginning. Life is constantly throwing us opportunities to show up more fully, more authentically, more compassionately for ourselves and for our lives and for others. Sometimes these seasons are mundane and daily. I think that's what it says. Sometimes my writing is hard to read. Mundane and daily, but other times they are greater and grander with wider scope. Your life is ready to shift, evolve, expand, grow, and transform. But it requires that you grow and heal and transform and evolve in it into a person who can create that shift. that new life and maintain it. This requires that you break a pattern or patterns and learn a lesson that you've been faced with before, but you have not been able to move beyond it yet. Look for a similar theme that keeps playing out. What are common threads regarding you? What are common threads regarding you, your behavior, your mindset, your standards, your boundaries? What do you keep doing the same that keeps you stuck? And change up the reading these tests and change up the way that you are meeting these tests. We got there eventually. So yeah, look at the common themes that keep playing out. Don't put the blame on anybody else. Like, even if you're in a situation where somebody else was in the wrong, right? Just forget about that and just look at your side of what happened. How did you react? What led to that situation? It's not that it's your fault, but it's just like, what kind of person were you in that moment? How did it affect you? What was your mindset? How did you interpret it then, right? Look to these things. See, like for instance, I can look back at like other relationships I was in the past, like in the distant past. And it's that I was in that shift where, I'd been dating this guy that seemed really nice and he seemed like a good guy, but then he started acting like super jerky and stuff. And looking back, it's like, it's not my fault that he was a jerk, but I should have actually just been like, you know what, no, forget it then, I'm not going to date you anymore. And then let him deal with it, right? But like, that's not really how it played out. So, the message there was, wow, how did I not have the boundary or the standard? Like what belief system, was I still carrying around in my subconscious at the time that I hadn't healed yet, which I've already uncovered that, in the past year or whatever. Like, what would have led me to stay in that situation longer than I needed to, And then you relive that with like compassion for yourself, and then you kind of like understand, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, breakthrough moment, right? So it's just like allowing like those moments to come up to you as they are during January, they are during February. So if they're still happening during March, just allow those things to keep coming up so that you can learn from them and not keep repeating the same patterns. Okay. All right. What else? I feel like it was this one. Signs and synchronicities. Oh my God. We had this card last month. Signs, omens, synchronicities, oracles, angel message, and spirit communication. So this is a card that talks about like being aware and like taking note of signs and synchronicities that continuously present themselves to you. But it also warns against not going out and looking for signs or reading into things that are not signs or making things signs that aren't signs. So pay attention to common themes, and let those be like seeds of hope, because a lot of times I've noticed that the universe will show me like a cluster of like crazy signs and omens and synchronicities that'll just give me enough hope to keep me going until all of the divine timing links up in advance, in the future. So just pay attention to what these signs are telling you and the themes involved. But make note of them. It's like, it's always either trying to lead you in a direction or lead you away from a direction. This was our card, graduation, major healing, lesson truly embodied, wholeness, next level of evolution, completion, successful finish. So it's like there was a lesson that we needed to repeat again in February, and then we learned our lesson, and it was like that lesson was complete. And I think that there's something else, some layer of that we're coming around again in February, and that's good, right? It's like, if this is a new romantic relationship coming in, It's like the whole point of relationships are to show you the parts of yourself, like show you yourself back to yourself, show you the parts that aren't healed that need to be healed, show the parts of you that need to be more sharing and compassionate, show the parts of you that need to be stronger and more boundaried, right? And show you yourself more self-love. So it's like they're our greatest workbooks. So you will be facing lessons again and again throughout a relationship. But it's about like figuring out like if any given relationship is more toxic than it is healing and expansive, right? Even in a healing situation, there's going to be challenges and there's going to be evolution and transformation and growth. But like don't use that as an excuse to stay in a toxic relationship and keep repeating like abusive relationship patterns or codependency or anything like that. There's always like a healthy balance to things, but on some level there we have healed, some lesson has been learned. So good. By the end of the month, I guess like we figured it out. New beginnings. Oh my God, the other card with that was new beginnings, a fresh start, new ideas, a new project, a new relationship, a new job, the beginning of something big, setting out on a journey. So that is great. Whatever we were coming through during February, you know, it might be a continuing theme through March, but it also might be the development of some really good things. So keep hope in your heart as you are, you know, having your dealings and your comings and goings, and just be aware that if you show up with vulnerability and authenticity and like know who you are, there's a good chance everything's going to work out pretty well for you. The Wren is our bird messenger from the Winged Enchantment for the month. Let's see what our message is. It is 39, if that, oh, it's my age. It's my last month of being 39 in March. Okay, so 39, Wren. Oh, this is the last card in the deck too. I am Wren, the active spirit and giving heart. I am poetic inspiration. I am the energy of life and the utilization of everything this earth yields. I waste no time. I squander no resources. I am life lived to its fullest. I am the bold use of both agility and wit. You have encountered a need to stay alert. You have reason to make things move quickly now. I am your reminder that you have put things into motion and so must maintain momentum. Expand your circle and utilize those around you for help. You may find others an asset to your accomplishments. I am the determination to follow the path that lay ahead. Trust the tug of your heart. Trust the tug of your spirit and carry onward. You are lighthearted in the face of hard work. You are joyous aspiration. You are stamina. You are Wren. Yay! I'm excited, y'all. I think that we have a lot to look forward to coming up shortly. I'm feeling good. I feel like March is going to be a great month. I guess if you're watching this now, we've already come through January and February, so it's interesting to see what played out in those months, and it will be interesting to see what plays out next month. So yes, subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on it, leave an emoji, share it, save it in a playlist. Anything that you do helps me get these videos out into the algorithm and grow my channel. Yes, let's see what else. Check out the description box below. There's links to these decks if you are interested in buying them for yourself. If you'd like to support my work, you can donate to the channel. There's a link to my PayPal below. But yeah, otherwise I will see y'all in the next video. Ciao.